You ever sat back and looked at your business and thought, this should be working by now? I mean, you're smart, you've been consistent, you've been posting your content, your offers are on point, and you've made some money. So you know that it can work, right? But now you're sitting back and looking at your business and you're thinking, why is this not kicking off like it should be? And I actually hear this a lot. And you would think it's from beginners, right? Those who are just starting out, but it's not. It's from experienced, absolutely brilliant women who have worked with clients, they have the praise reports, and they know that their work, what they do, can get results. But at the end of the day, the math isn't mathing and the money is not accumulating in their bank accounts like it should be. And so now they are sitting back and they're wondering, what am I missing? Can you relate? So then the ruminating begins. Should I post more? Should I change my offer? Should I shift directions completely and start over? And you start adjusting things, trying to find the piece that'll make it all click and come together. You know, most of the time, that energy goes to two areas. It is either content or visibility. Posting more, trying to be more consistent, looking at other platforms to switch to and start posting on. And that means you're doing more, still not clear on what's supposed to be working so it can actually start working. And then you start being tired because trying to do everything and be everywhere is exhausting, okay? And people will start seeing your content because you're everywhere. So they are reading it, watching it. Some of them are even nodding along like, oh, that is good. But then they keep scrolling. They are not reaching out. They're not asking questions. They're not making a decision when that call to action comes sliding through in your content. So here is what's happening. Your work isn't landing in a way that helps someone to quickly understand where you fit for them with what they got going on right now. So they aren't connecting your work to a clear next step in their own situation. So yep, they are surely absorbing your content, but then they are keeping it moving. This is what we call a positioning problem. And positioning is how someone places you in their mind without having to think too hard about it. It answers a simple question for them. When do I come to you? And what do I come to you for? And when that's clear, people move faster. But when that's loose, people keep looking. So what does a positioning problem look like in real life? Well, some of what we already talked about, right? People will watch your content and still not know what your main thing is. So someone liking your post, but never taking the next step because they're still trying to figure out and understand what you really help with. So your content is pulling in attention from people who enjoy what you say, but who never and are never going to buy simply because your message is too broad, it's too mixed, it's too spread out. And it looks like constantly creating content, feeling invisible still, and then assuming the answer is more. It also looks like teaching a lot, but not being known for something specific enough that people can repeat it when they're referring you to others. And that's where this will start to cost you some money because now your business is working so hard to explain itself and not getting the results that you desire and want and need. So what's the solution? To tighten up. Your message cannot be spread across too many topics, and your content, it has to be consistent. Instead of teaching like a whole bunch of different things depending on the day of the week, content needs a job. And your ideal client should not have to and won't spend time trying to understand what you do, who you do it for, and most importantly, if you are the right person for them to help them. And so you want to make this an easy, no-brainer decision for them. And if you don't, they will bounce. And this is where a lot of smart, brilliant women entrepreneurs get tripped up at because they treat positioning like it's a good brand statement, a well thought out bio, a tagline, or a good way to describe what they do. And like, no, not at all. Positioning shows up in how your business feels as a whole and what you talk about, what you repeat, what you're known for, how quickly someone can decide if you are the right person, the right fit for them for where they are at that moment. And this is why I always bring this back to your offer. Your content needs something to point to. If your offer isn't focused or is trying to do too many things, your content will feel all over the place as well. If you're not clear on the role your offer plays in your business, your audience won't be clear either. So now you're creating content, but it's not pointing people to any type of specific anything, and people can feel that. So before you make another reel, post another video, or do another story or any other type of post, ask yourself this. If someone found me today, would they quickly be able to understand what I'm known for? Would they know the main problem that I solve? And would they know who my work is really for? Would they know what the next step is? And if any of those answers is fuzzy in any way, then the issue is deeper than the amount of content volume that you're pushing out. Now we have offer clarity, message clarity, and a business structure problem. But if you notice, I went from positioning to what? The offer. Because, and I preach this a lot, your content cannot lead the whole business. Your offer has to give your content something to point to. So if your offer is loose and all over the place, then your messaging is going to look like that too. If your offer is trying to do too many things, then your content is going to feel scattered. If you're not clear on what role that your offer plays in your business, then your audience is going to be able to feel that confusion even if they can't name it. So your content can only reinforce what's already clear. It cannot rescue an offer that's still kind of muddled and confused. And this is why it always comes back to the question, what are you known for? What do people come to you for over and over again? What is the main problem that your business solves in a consistent and repeatable way? Because once that is clear, then content is going to get so much easier. Easier to create, easier to repeat, easier to, or for the right person to be able to respond and respond the right way that you want it to, okay? That you want them to. So again, when this is clear, that is when your content starts doing its job. That's when people can see where you fit, they can see how you help, and making a decision feels a whole lot easier for them. Don't miss that nugget, because you don't want to ask your content to do the work of clarity, positioning, structure. That's not content's job. And that's why it can often feel so heavy. Now, if you are in a place where you are doing a lot and still questioning what's working, what's not, then I want to invite you into my Profit Lab community. This is where we go through this together so you can get clear on what deserves your time, your focus, your energy, so you can get to the profits. And I will see you inside.